Week 2 of the preseason. This is your action on NFL Network. Tomorrow night, Bears at Giants. It kicks off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. All eyes on Daniel Jones after Week 1. Browns at Colts on Saturday. No Andrew Luck. We'll see Jacoby Brissett at 4 p.m. Eastern. Chiefs at Steelers will be fireworks on Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And then your Cowboys at Rams. The end of a triple header on Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern from Hawaii. Aloha.
Yeah.
Will Selb was out in the newsroom in Culver City. We are all excited for Rams and Cowboys, but what's the latest with Dak and company?
All right, thank you, Kay. Well, the Cowboys certainly have a lot on their plate, and they're getting ready, obviously, for the regular season, but they have Ezekiel Elliott holding out for a new contract. As we know, Amari Cooper dealing with a foot injury, and Dak Prescott looking to break the bank on his new contract. Dak reportedly seeking $40 million a year after turning down a $30 million offer from the Cowboys. Head coach Jason Garrett asked about Dak's progress as a QB and says the best is yet to come.
Dak's done some really good things 3 years into his career, but he's a young football player at that position. And he's going to keep getting better, and his mindset, his mentality, his work ethic is as good as anybody I've been around, and he's going to keep getting better.
Well, we told you earlier this week about DeAndre Hopkins catching flies with his bare hands. There's a good reason Hopkins had zero. He has 0 dropped passes last season. It was the first time a player with at least 110 grabs didn't put one on the turf since the stat has been recorded. It's a skill Hopkins takes a lot of pride in.
There's a lot of little things that I do at home during the day to work on my hands, my hand strength. While I'm driving, I do certain things. I can't give it away. But, I do a lot of little things because I know someone else is trying to come take my position and kind of, trying to come take that title. Making first team All-Pro is not something that you can do back-to-back if, just sitting at home chilling.
DeAndre Hopkins, no, I don't picture him just sitting at home chilling. Definitely working hard. Obviously, Jerry Rice, we know, famously was catching bricks. But Nate, as a former wide receiver, I mean, does he take a couple of stress balls as he's driving? How is he doing this with his hands? What's the secret sauce, Nate?
The secret sauce, there's definitely bricks in the backyard, and there's golf balls that guys catch, and they usually do it with the lights off so you can't really see anything.
Wow.
Yeah, think about it.
Okay. Thanks so much. Well, how impressive is that to you to hear? And we've heard it a million times since last year that he didn't put a ball on the ground.
It's unbelievable because nowadays a receiver can get targeted 170 times, and we just take it as part of the course. But that guy has a ton of drops, and we don't acknowledge the fact that the hands aren't reliable. DeAndre Hopkins, one of the more sure-handed receivers this game has ever seen.
Switching gears now, guys, let's hit some training camp spotlight presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Let's go to Nashville. Our guy Mike Giardi is with the Patriots and the Titans at joint practice. Giardi, what's going on?
Well, hello, Kay, and I know you missed me, but Patriots and Titans joint practices here in Nashville on Wednesday and Thursday. And on Wednesday, Mike Vrabel celebrating his 44th birthday by getting to chirp in Tom Brady's ear. You know Vrabel loves that. The two former teammates and still terrific friends had that relationship when they played together, and they still have it some 20 years later.
It was fun. Brought back a lot of memories just to be able to, sit out there and have them, they make a play and he turns around and says, Mikey, you better cover that, and, you guys need to do this, and I'm sure I had plenty to say, too. So it was a lot of fun. We got a lot of respect for those guys, and we can learn a lot from the way they practice and how they operate.
It wasn't just Vrabel and Brady. So many former Patriots here in Tennessee making their mark, from John Robinson, the GM, to Vrabel, and, of course, Logan Ryan and Malcolm Butler in the secondary, Dion Lewis at a running back. And Lewis last year, after the Titans beat the Patriots 34-10, called the Patriots cheap because they didn't extend for Lewis as a free agent. Asked him if he regretted that. He said, nope, it's in the past. He said none of the Patriot players minded at all. And, of course, the Patriots had the last laugh. Lewis said they won the Super Bowl, Kay.
They certainly did, Mike. We love having you on the show. Thank you so much. We'll have more from you from Nashville. We love a joint practice with the Patriots. Which Pat are you guys keeping your eye on for the rest of the preseason, Triggs?
I'm fascinated by this Jacoby Myers. I might be late to the game, too. I feel like Patriots media and New England Patriot fans are obsessed. But if you are not aware, Jacoby Myers was a three-sport, three-star quarterback in high school in Georgia, gets recruited to play quarterback at NC State, plays for 1 year, and then moves over to the wide receiver position, was just drafted or undrafted shows up to the Patriots and has been lights out as one of their receivers, not so much as like a fun story or, hey, there's a guy to watch, but as a potential number 3 on the depth chart behind Edelman and Dorsett. He's been that good. He's 6'1", he's 200 pounds. He didn't run a super fast combine, but he's an undrafted rookie already. And this is so Belichick, it's so Brady, and it's so McDaniels that hurts that Jacoby Myers is already elevating up the depth chart. He had 2 touchdown catches against the Lions in that preseason game. Doesn't seem to be stopping. Another guy that 260 players were drafted before, and here we go. He might be a guy who's making a difference for a Super Bowl champion this season. Jacoby Myers. Can't wait to see some more.
The trick play potential with Jacoby Myers, too, as always, right? I'm going to talk about another receiver, and it's we sometimes would do segments where I make up fake players, and you guys you can believe it or not. If I was to tell you there's a 5'9" white receiver named Braxton Berrios for the Patriots, Nate, be like, come on now, you're making that up. Come on. It's a real guy. Braxton Berrios, if you don't know, was drafted last year by the Patriots out of Miami, got hurt, sat the entire year on injured reserve, and it's just so classic. It's an archetype of this era. I heard a friend of mine call him Amendola 2.0, which makes him Edelman 3.0, which makes him Welker 4.0. Braxton Berrios is a guy they've been waiting on. This could be the future of that classic Tom Brady slot position. He certainly looks the part, and as we're seeing him get the scrappy yards over the middle in Detroit, I'm going to watch this guy. Kind of a fascinating room between Peter and me, and then if you look at what's going on, obviously, like the Josh Gordon thing looms large, and N'Keal Harry, like the Patriots wide receiver room, fascinating.
It's wild, and I was up there, like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
The sky was falling at the wide receiver spot. They have Danny Etling, a quarterback turned wide receiver out there catching balls from Brady. He's released, scooped up by the Falcons over the last 24 hours, and all of a sudden they have depth, including potentially a Gordon situation coming back at some point, and your guy Myers lighting it up.
Whatever's in the fridge, they're going to make a delicious meal with it. They always make it work. All right, for me, I'm going with the guy that we're going to keep our eyes on, and we can't help but to keep our eyes on him. And this is the most famous Patriot there is. Not talking about Tom Brady. Talking about Gronkowski.
Okay.
Rob Gronkowski is who we're going to be looking at. Listen, he probably has some things planned here in the offseason. I hear he's going to be involved in some remakes of movies that are cinematic classics like Expendable 4s, Robo Gronk, Kazam, and Mr. Nanny. But after he gets done filming those movies, he's going to come back around week 8. All jokes aside, I do believe Gronk will be back around week 8. I know he lost about 15 pounds. They won't put him on the line. He will not be blocking like he used to. He will be a finesse tight end. They'll keep him out of the danger zone.
This is a bold prediction.
I'm dead serious. I've said this multiple times to media outlets.
Around week 8?
Like around week 8.
He's not doing the Thunder in Paradise reboot this year? No,
I feel like Gronk is going to be bored and the team is going to need him. And they'll say, Gronk, we're not going to have you block. We're just going to keep you on the outside. You can catch a ball, run out of bounds. You can even dive if you want to. You won't be falling apart like you used to. You'll be a finesse tight end.
You mean this? You honestly think he's coming back?
There's a ton of finesse tight ends that are falling out. Gronk will come back and be one of those guys. And I think that he's going to miss the game, and the Patriots will miss him.
The hope is there, I think, up there, and the optimism, and the door's certainly open. They've had lots of retired. I mean, Scarnecchia was retired and came back.
There was
Watson
a report.
Was retired and came back. It could happen.
It's very possible. There was a report that on August 27th, which is about 10 days from now, whatever it is, that he's having a press conference for something. Now, I don't know what that is, but it was a report on one of the websites.
Oh, really?
One of the news aggregators, like Gronk schedules in the interviews. So who knows?
Everyone's freaking out.
Yeah, who knows?
In what world do you go Myers? Do you not go N'Keal Harry? Like, this is very weird.
It's a little too obvious.
Turn of events
It
for
is
me.
scalding Gronk take.
Big
But until
N'Keal Harry
Gronk's
fan.
there, N'Keal Harry has to be that dude.
I've talked about him 1,000 times. Yeah, people know how I feel about him.
He's number 8, right?
He had 2 awesome grabs from Brian Hoyer in their first preseason game, but he's going to be the go-to outside guy, and he's going to have to pick up slack for Gronk not being there. So I'm looking at N'Keal Harry this week against the Titans. Everybody's talking about offense, offensive weapons. But is the Browns' big threat on the other side of the ball? Nate, we're going to talk defense with Cleveland?
Yeah, I'm going to break down some of the defensive